The Evolutions of Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a Netflix original science fiction horror drama television series created by the Duffer Brothers, along with Sean Levi and Dan Cohen. The brothers serve as showrunners and executive producers. The series' first season premiered on Netflix on July 15, 2016, with the second, third, and fourth seasons following in October 2017, July 2019, and May and July 2022, respectively. In February 2022, the series was renewed for a fifth and final season. There has been a massive evolution in the series. Just from being a series, it expanded itself into different genres like games, podcasts, and many more. Here, let's explore in today's video. The series is set in the 1980s, primarily in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, and revolves around a number of supernatural events that occurs in the town, particularly their connections to a hostile alternate reality known as the Upside Down, after a link between it and Earth is made by a government child experimentation facility. The Duffer Brothers created Stranger Things as a blend of investigative drama and supernatural elements portrayed with horror, science fiction, and childlike sensibilities. The Duffer Brothers set the series in the 1980s and infused references to 1980s pop culture. At the same time, themes and directional aspects were inspired by the works of Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter, David Lynch, Stephen King, Wes Craven, and H.P. Lovecraft. They were also inspired by Cold War experiments and real-world conspiracy theories involving secret government experiments. Stranger Things has received critical acclaim for its characterizations, atmosphere, themes, emotion, acting, soundtrack, directing, writing, and homages to 1980s films and has attracted record viewership on Netflix. A summary of its plot. Stranger Things is set in the 1980s in the fictional rural town of Hawkins, Indiana. The nearby Hawkins National Laboratory ostensibly conducts scientific research for the U.S. Department of Energy, but it also conducts paranormal and supernatural experiments, including those involving human test subjects. As a result, they have unintentionally created a portal to an alternate dimension known as the Upside Down. Unfortunately, Upside Down's influence begins to have disastrous effects on Hawkins' unknowing residents. The first season begins in November 1983 when a creature abducts Will Byers from a parallel universe known as the Upside Down. Will is being sought by his mother Joyce and the town's police chief Jim Hopper. Simultaneously, a young psychokinetic girl named Eleven escapes from the laboratory and assists Will's friends Mike, Dustin, and Lucas in their search for Will. The second season begins a year later. In October 1984, Will has been rescued, but little is known about what happened. When it is discovered that entities from Upside Down are still influencing Will, his friends and family realize that Upside Down poses a larger threat to their universe. The third season occurs several months later, in the days leading up to the 4th of July in 1985. The second Starcourt Mall has captured the attentions of Hawkins residents, driving most other businesses out of business due to the mall's success. Hopper becomes increasingly concerned about Eleven and Mike's relationship and becomes overly protective of his daughter while still caring for Joyce, who is oblivious to his feelings. However, unbeknownst to the town, a secret Soviet laboratory beneath Starcourt is attempting to open the gateway to the Upside Down, allowing entities from the Upside Down to possess people in Hawkins and ushering in new horror. The fourth season takes place a few months later, in March 1986. Joyce, Will, Eleven, and Jonathan have relocated to Lenora, California for a new beginning where Eleven struggles with losing her powers and is bullied at school. Meanwhile, a new monster from Upside Down named Vecna begins possessing and killing Hawkins residents. Dr. Sam Owens and Dr. Martin Brenner take Eleven to a facility to help her regain her powers to help fight this monster. Meanwhile, Joyce and Murray fly to Russia to rescue Hopper from the Kamchatka Gulag, which also houses a captive Demogorgon. It evolved to the next level. From just being a Netflix original series, it developed into different fields like games, novels, and comics, etc. Along with the second season of Stranger Things, Netflix released Beyond Stranger Things, an after show hosted by Jim Rash. The guests are members of the series cast and crew, including the Duffer Brothers and the series stars, who discuss the series development and productions and its larger mythology. Beyond Stranger Things, unlike previous Embassy Row after shows such as Talking Dead and Talking Bad, is intended to be watched after watching the entire season 2. Tie-in books. Beginning in late 2018, Penguin Random House collaborated with Netflix to publish a Stranger Things theme book series, How to Survive in a Stranger Things World. A children's book released on November 13, 2018, offers advice, wisdom, and warnings from the show. Stranger Things World Turned Upside Down. The official behind-the-scenes companion was also released on October 30th, 2018, as was a 2-in-1 Hawkins Middle School Yearbook or Hawkins High School Yearbook. Novels. Gwenda Bond's novel Suspicious Minds, set before the first season, focuses on Eleven's mother, Terry Ives, and her encounters with Dr. Brenner in the Hawkins Laboratory in 1969. The novel was published on February 5, 2019, and Darkness on the Edge of Town by New Zealand author Adam Christopher followed on May 28, 2019. Following the events of the second season, Hopper tells Eleven about his past life in New York City in the 1970s in Edge. Brenna Yovanov, young adult novel Runaway Max, published on June 4, 2019, explored Max Mayfield's early life in San Diego before moving to Hawkins in 1984. Comics. Dark Horse Comics announced a partnership with Netflix for a multi-year publishing line of Stranger Things themed stories. Jody Hauser's original title was a 4-issue miniseries with interior art by Stefano Martino. The story occurred during the first season's events and was told from Will's point of view while he was still trapped in the Upside Down. Dark Horse Comics released a special Stranger Things comic on May 4, 2019 as part of Free Comic Book Day event. The Stranger Things story from the Game Master appeared in the Dark Horse FCBD 2019 General Comic, set a few days after the first season's events. Tabletop games. In May 2019, Hasbro released a licensed version of a Stranger Things themed Dungeons & Dragons starter kit. Aside from instruction books, character sheets, and dice, the kit includes a campaign called The Hunt for the Tessel Hydra, which the children played in the first season, as well as Demogorgon minifigs. In 2021, Magic the Gathering will release a set of Stranger Things crossover card as part of its special Secret Lair series. Video games. It has different versions of video games, including mobile games developed by Bonus XP and Netflix for free tie-in Stranger Things, and was released on iOS and Android in 2017. The game employs a retro pixel art style reminiscent of Super Nintendo Entertainment System games. The game is loosely based on the Stranger Things story after Season 1, with the player taking on the role of Chief of the Police Jim Hopper in search of the missing boys. Once discovered, these characters become playable and have special abilities that allow the player to access more areas of the game. Stranger Things 3 The Game. Bonus XP's second mobile game was announced at the Game Awards 2018. It was released as a prequel to the Stranger Things third season, which premiered on July 4, 2019. This is an isometric action game in which players guide selected show characters such as Joyce, Jim, Max, and Eleven through various levels, with gameplay inspired by several 1980s video games. As Bonus XP had some input with the Duffer Brothers and provided additional story elements that the show did not have time to explore. The game follows the narrative of the third season. Next Games created a third mobile game called Stranger Things Puzzle Tales. It was first teased as a location-based game with role-playing game mechanics. Instead, it was a story-driven puzzle role-playing game when it was released in 2021. It also has PlayStation's VR games, PC games, and Telltale games. Podcasts. Beside the gaming thing, there comes a podcast for the entire series. In July 2019, a 3-part behind-the-scenes Stranger Things 3 podcast was released, detailing the productions of the show's third season. Dan Taberski hosted the event. Rebel Robin Surviving Hawkins, a 6-episode scripted podcast companion to the Rebel Robin novel, was released in mid-2021. Theme park attractions. Stranger Things theme mazes were featured at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Orlando Resort theme parks in 2018 and 2019 respectively, with Universal Studios Singapore's receiving a Stranger Things themed attractions for the 2018 season. Stranger Things, the store opens on November 6, 2021 in New York City's Times Square. That's not it. There is more to it. So, we are really amazed by how evolved Stranger Things is now. What do you think about its evolution? Let us know in the comments below.